to see whether we can create special funds so we can have internally regenerated funds for able to use for children welfare, and also fast track some of the laws. For example, Kenya has been identified as a country that is heavily involved in child trafficking. We are a conduit of child traffickers. We are a destination of child traffickers. We are a source of child trafficking. And it is also because we have failed, and I'll be bringing through cabinet, I think it's already there, through the, if I'm appointed through the Mheshimiwa Ishungwa, the passage of us to get into the Hague Convention for the protection of child, trafficking. Because if countries like Somalia can sign child trafficking in the Hague, and Tanzania and Uganda and others, and we have failed to do so, it makes us look like we really support trafficking of children across the world. On the minimum wage, I will look into it. I'll sit down and see, because it depends on what the market can afford. But also we need to, I remember as I finalize, Ford, when Henry Ford, when he built the Ford company, he said he would pay his employees enough money that they can afford to buy the cars that they build. We need to be a culture where we can pay people enough money to enable them to be able to live decent lives according to what the market can also afford. So it's a discussion with the employers, because we don't also want to destroy the good enabling environment for work, but it is important. On contractual benefits and job referral, I've taken note, and it's something that I will look at. I submit.
Thank you, Nominee. The last two issues I want to put to you. On the issue, as a follow-up to Honorable Mishi's issue about Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
What you probably will need to do is check out on a country like Philippines. It is the largest exporter of non-professional workers in the world. Anywhere you go in big hotels, you'll find Filipino workers, happy, decent. Find out what mechanisms and legal regime they operate between Philippines and the countries they work. Anywhere you go, perhaps if you go to the moon, you'll find a Filipino worker. The last one, you've talked about NSSF. You can borrow a leaf from our neighbor Tanzania. What Tanzanians do, all the big money held by NSSF, they have engaged with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and instead of government buying property as missions, it's NSSF that buys those properties and owns them. So the government then pays NSSF rent at source. You reduce yourself from the problems of foreign exchange, and instead of paying foreign exchange to another country, you're paying in local currency at the rates of those countries to your own NSSF. So even the rate of return on the investment is excellent. You may consider engaging NSSF to do that. I'll end there, and after we finish, you will see our secretariat. They have some mismatch with your documents, so that you can put them in order for the record. I want to ask you a few last questions. Do you have any, have you ever been mentioned adversely in any integrity-related report or investigations? Forget about your Machakos shenanigans.
No, I have never.
Yes. Do you hold any leadership position in any political party within Kenya?
No, I do not.
What is your net worth?
Net worth is 462 million shillings.
Made of?
Made of assets that I have, like homes, land, where I do some bit of farming, and a few businesses that I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Alfred. Make sure before you leave, you sort out your documentation with the Secretariat, so we can release you to go back to your other duties.
And thank
yes,
you.
Yes, pardon? As say? Yes. Oh, how? Sorry. Yes, you appeared before us in 2022. How much were you worth then? I think that's a serious omission. But,